Vega,
Chet?
have you played Splatoon ever?
I have not. I looked at it and said, this looks like a really goofy shooter. And I'm not sure why everyone is in love with it. It must be another Nintendo syndrome thing.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and I only played a little bit of the first one because I didn't own a Wii U. I don't think anyone owned a Wii U and played the first one except for no one looks at the Splatoon on Wii U and goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a Wii U just for that." But the Switch is already cool on its own, and getting Splatoon 2, it was awesome.
Yeah?
Yes. So I don't like a lot of multiplayer games. I played a lot back in the day. I did Quake 3 Arena and everything, and then just kind of fell off the boat, I guess you could say. But then, I don't know, something reawakened in me when I played Titanfall. And now that I'm playing Splatoon, I haven't had this much fun in multiplayer since Titanfall. I don't know what it is, it just works. And it's not super murdery either. You know, because you run around and you splat ink at people, you get to splat your friends.
Yeah. It looks a lot like the old Tony Hawk when you used to play Tony Hawk and you had to like paint the skate park against your friend and see who could take up more space.
Honest Trailers on Smosh made fun of that. They actually said that's what it's like.
Really? That's great.
Yeah, they did.
Great.
It's kind of, I mean, you go around, you shoot your enemies when they're too, but there's a different array of weapons you can choose. Some of them are more oriented to fighting enemies, some of them are a mix of both. One's actually a bucket of paint that you just throw at people, and that's kind of like your shotgun.
Oh wow, that's funny.
And then for me,
buckshot, you get it?
Oh, I get it. So, there's also a paint roller, and this is my favorite because this is a super support class kind of weapon. You roll around paint on the floor behind your team, so you let your team go out ahead of you, and they start shooting everyone. You just I'm just covering the place in ink, just covering the place in ink. And the feeling you get when you sneak to somewhere else where the other team forgot you're at, and then you just start undoing all of their work, it's an amazing feeling. It's my favorite weapon to play with right now, other than doing dual-wield SMGs, which I guess they call them splat dualies in this one. I like those too. But between those two, I'm having an absolute blast. Do you know I haven't even gotten to the rank stages yet?
Really?
Yes, it's really long time to let you to play ranked. Like, what? Did you ever play any game in multiplayer that blocked off the ranked multiplayer and made you play more of it first?
I mean, like, when you play The Division, it's kind of blocked off, as far as getting into certain types of battles and certain types of skirmishes, but I don't... Call of Duty, at some point, it's, like, blocked off for your rank matches. Like, you have to, like, get to, like, rank level 5 or something, but it's nothing that's super long, so it's not, like, terrible. Splatoon sounds like it's really long, so I don't know if I'm with that.
Yeah, I played it for a real long time. I'm at level 6, and I'm pretty sure I played over, like, 25 matches or more. But I'm not that worried about it, because everyone tells me the other matches that you get to play aren't that much better than Turf War anyway. Turf War being the main game where you gotta cover the land with the most ink.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I just jump in. The only thing lacking is you can't see what your team's loadout is. So, you just sit there.
So you don't know if you're being a support or if your whole team is full of support.
Yeah, so, whenever I'm sitting there with my paint roller and another person's on my team with a paint roller, I'm like, oh, shit. Not this again.
Not again.
It's usual. You can do it if you strategize for it, but other than that, not really a winning combination. You've played Horde mode games, right? Do you
Absolutely.
have, a favorite Horde mode from
I
a
actually
game?
want to get around to talking about Killing Floor at some point in a podcast or something, because I had the chance to experience that. But yeah, Horde mode Horde mode shooters are probably my favorite shooters, because I don't have to worry about anything but killing everything. So
It's a fun mode. I mean, it works. They added it to Titanfall. I'm back on Titanfall again, I know, but they added it to that recently, and now that game, I love that kind of PvE experience you get in multiplayer. But they have the game locked off for no reason. You can only play Salmon Run when Nintendo says you can. So you'll be in the hub
I read
world,
about that.
and it'll just be closed off.
Huh.
Other than that, like when Splatfest was going on, where you pick a team and you get to choose which is better. This day was mayo versus ketchup. I was Team Mayo. Hashtag Team Mayo. And you're just going around, instead of ink, it's mayo on the floor and ketchup. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, because you think about it, it's like you have to reload by swimming in your own ink, so you're just swimming in globs of mayo and ketchup. But that was the only time Salmon Run was open, and I just did the tutorials, like, but the Splatfest thing is happening. I want to play that right now. Even that, just the only problem with this game so far is that it takes a long time to grind. You play a lot and you get very little out of it, whether you win or lose. But I got double experience recently, so I'm gonna do that more. But now the other game's calling me, and I might have to conclude it pretty soon. But I'm still having a blast. I will continue playing this game. That said, single player.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about single player. What's that story about?
So it's like, did you play Portal?
I loved Portal.
Did you play Portal 2?
I played Portal 2.
Okay.
I didn't play Portal 1. I only played Portal 2.
So
most people only played Portal 2.
Just imagine you're just playing the middle part of Portal 2, but for kids. You know the part with the paint?
Yeah.
That's almost what it's like, because it's just a series of mostly puzzle-like combat scenarios. A lot of the levels force you to use certain weapons, so you have to learn about them. It added grinding. I know we were talking about Tony Hawk earlier. They added grinding to the single player, but not the multiplayer. I was a bit disappointed about that.
That's interesting. So you can skate around a la
like,
Jet Set Radio?
Yeah, or actually a better comparison right now would be Sunset Overdrive, because you're shooting while grinding.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But most of the time you're just either shooting balloons or you're shooting a very limited set of enemies and you're forced to use weapons. It's not that fun.
Does it tell you a story? Does it feel forced on?
Oh, no, it's tacked on. There's barely any story there. It's pretty much just... It's a bare bones plot. It's like, hey, go get the thing's gone. So the story was the only thing disappointing, but it's not a game that requires it, so I didn't give the game a lot of flack for that. Yeah. But it was like a really long tutorial above all else, and most reviewers have said the same thing. I wanted to see it for myself, and yeah, it is. Here's how all the guns work, here's some of the tactics you can use, and the bosses were really good, though. The bosses were a blast. Huh.
The bosses were a blast. I guess, like, if you are not a fan, like if you're not a Nintendo fanboy, is there any reason to pick up a brand new console to play? Like, Splatoon sold very well on Wii U, and it sold pretty much to every single person who owned a Wii U. So that's like great numbers. And now that the Switch is out, like if you're not interested in Zelda, you don't want to play Street Fighter, is Splatoon the reason to get a Switch?
No, but Zelda is. And Splatoon 2 is another reason on top of Zelda. 20 hours in, I'm like, oh man, this game's amazing. So, I think it's worth getting for that, but then as long as you have that, Splatoon 2 is a solid shooter. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 on the site. That review's ready to go up. Just missing a couple of things. It's the best shooter you can play on the Switch right now. I know that's not saying a whole lot yet.
Shooter, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it the only shooter you can play on the
It's the only shooter, but it's good. It's fun, and it's inexplicable, because you can see all the faults for it, and they're like glaring, but for some reason you just keep playing. I just keep diving in. I don't even want to sometimes. I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then, 5 matches in, I'm like, this game's so good. Why do I hate this game? Why do I love this game? What am I supposed to feel?
There are no explanations for any of it.
There are no explanations. It's a great game. And definitely worth picking up. Especially if you're a fan of the original, it's going to be more the same. If you haven't played the original, you can go in completely fresh. It shows you everything you need to know to play it. And that's Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2. Wow. Well, I don't know if I'm sold on it yet, but I guess I'll have to give it a shot one day. Get
Just
you and King Zeke in the building and see if we can play some Splatoon 2.
yeah, all we have to do is wait for, a Switch to be available again, and then we'll make it happen.
There you go.
Oh, that actually brings up one more thing. So there's no team chat on this, but they implemented this system that you can do on your phone instead to do team chat, but there's a lot of restrictions, and there's like a peripheral you have to buy to make it work with the game, and it's a pain in the ass, and you could easily just use Skype instead. And I'm like, what is Nintendo thinking with this? It's awful. Like, yeah, we could, if we did want to play multiplayer together, it would be easier just jumping on Skype than using the app they made specifically for this game. That's kind of sad.
Oh, Nintendo.
So yeah, if you're looking for a shooter that is a lot of just pure video gamey fun, you could do less wrong than Splatoon 2.
Oh, I'm Vega. You
I'm
just heard
Kurt.
from chat.
Yep.
And that is Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2, buy it if you have a Switch.
Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and check out all of the dope reviews we have on hardmodegamers.com.
Thanks.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.